Problem 3.6.25. Find all the zeros for this given function. So the first thing that I would do, I mean, you can use that rational zero or root term thing where you divide out all those possibilities like we looked on the last problems. But I still would say in today's world, in reality, what most people are probably going to do with something like this is you're going to just jump over to something like Desmos. You're going to actually put this back in here. So I've already got one in there. I'll just modify this one. X to the fourth minus 4x cubed. Our problem, I have that here, minus x squared plus 14 x plus 10. Plus 10. Double check this, make sure I didn't make any mistakes typing that in like I have on the last two. X to the fourth minus 4x cubed minus 4x squared plus 14x plus 10. So you look at this, right here I see at -1 I have what's called a double zero, double root, sometimes say multiplicity of 2. When it bounces off like that, you know how a parabola, if it bounces off, it has just 1. So at -1, we have a double root or multiplicity 2. So let's go back over and look at that at -1. So if at -1, we have those zeros, and then they also asking us to do the complex ones. So we've got to take the -1 out of the problem. This one works pretty well to do it just with synthetic. So I have my x to the fourth coefficient, the x to the third coefficient, x squared. Remember, if you skip in here to leave a 0 for them, a 14 and a 10. And because this is a double zero, we're going to take it out a second time after we get the first one out. So how does this go? We bring down this 1, multiply this 1. 1 times 1 is 1, add straight down. 1 times -3 is -3, add straight down. If we do this right, this better be a remainder of 0 in the end, or we must have a mistake somewhere. So 1 times -4 is -4. We add straight down. 1 times 10 is +10. That would, so I feel like there's a mistake here somewhere. 1, -3. -3, -4, -4, +10, +10. That would not, did I copy something down from my problem incorrectly? Did I write down 1, -4, -1, 14, 10? But what was my 0? I see my mistake. Wasn't my 0 at -1? So these are both supposed to be negative ones. So this would be a -1, -1 times, oh wait, that would have been a positive one. Bring it straight down. That would have been a -1. Let's get this out of here and start this over. Again, don't mind these mistakes being in there, because if you do them and you catch it, notice it, that's all right. Just fix it. Stick with it, do it over. I'm still going to have to erase some more of these. I think all these are going to be mixed up. Well, that last one, we just add a negative in front of the 10, but let's see here. -1 times -5 is +5, add straight down +4. -1 times +4 would be -4, add straight down, -1 times 10, -10, remainder 0. All right, whew. Let's see, typical day for me with mistakes. Next one. So now we still have a second 0 at -1 that we should get another remainder of 0 this time, if we've done it right. So we're going to take it out and see what's left this time. Bring down the 1. -1 times 1, -1, add, -6. -1 times -6, +6, add. -1 times -10, -10. and add. So that's remainder. These are numbers. These are x's. These are x squareds. Think of that as a minus and put a plus there. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 10 for this last part, or what's left over. Well, what are the zeros for that? You know, you can use quadratic formula. I'm going to change that into that completed square form. Remember how we did 6 divided by 3 would be a 2? I'm sorry, I just did that backwards. Try again. 6 divided by 2 equals the 3. So in here it's going to be x minus, same sign as what we have here in front of this x term, x minus 3 squared. And if we expanded this out, this would be x squared minus 6x, but because of the negative 3 squared, there'd be a plus 9. We were supposed to have a plus 10. So right here, we still need, if we have 9, we need plus 1 more to make it equal this quadratic right here. Now solve for when it equals 0 to find our x-intercepts or our roots. Subtract the 1 to the other side. Square root both sides to get rid of the square. Remembering to have a plus or minus in front of there. Oops, I didn't put it there. Square root of negative 1 is I, right? And then lastly, add your 3 over here. So my other two zeros or roots are these complex 2, the 3 plus or minus the I. So I should have 4 zeros. And it said, if I remember, if you have more than one, write it twice or something. Use integers, fractions, use commas. Well, the last problem said that. So I'm not sure on this one if we need to or not. So the zeros are, I bet we need to. -1 and -1 because we had it twice as a double root or multiplicity 2. And then the 3 minus I and the 3 plus I for my 4 zeros or roots in this problem. So that would be how I would work 3.6.25, hopefully the next time without making the mistakes. And with that,